So, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good evening. It was a good evening for Mr. Good Evening last night as well, wasn't it? But anyway, we are here to talk about MOISES CAICEDO. Again, linked to Arsenal. Number one target this summer is MOISES CAICEDO, according to mass reports from puppet journalists that probably have just made the story up to get me talking and you talking and other Arsenal fans talking. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Before we get into the nitty gritty, make sure you are peppering the like button. Costs nothing. Helps the channel grow as well. Appreciate everybody who does that. As you can see, my lobster settings are getting a lot better. I'm now getting a little bit more tanned rather than red. Big up to everybody who has subbed to the second channel. I've just dropped a video on Leo Messi, 400 million euro a year deal to Saudi Arabia. Check that out. It's in the description. I'll leave the link there as well. I will be back again later on this evening with another upload. I'm only uploading today. I'm actually going for a couple of pints with Henry Wright TV, who's literally around the corner from here. So yes, I'll be meeting up with him, and then I'll be back again after the football with another upload as well. So plenty more content to come. We've got plenty of transfer news to talk about. Arsenal are linked to everyone in the world, and their dog, and their wives, and their children, and their cousins twice removed, and all of that. But MOISES CAICEDO, let's do the background. Obviously, we put in a couple of bids for this young man. Put in a couple of bids for this young man in January, and they never came to fruition because Edu dillied and dallied, gallivanting all around Europe, and then decided to keep good relations. Good relations with Brighton. Cool. Well, listen, we may win the league without Kaisado, so happy days if we do. If we don't, then we maybe could have done with him, couldn't we? But we weren't prepared to go above and beyond. They wanted near 100 million to get rid in January, which we just weren't going to pay. Yeah, and I'm a bit gutted about it because, listen, every time I've watched this guy, I think he's superb. Like, honestly, absolutely top-class player. And he was brilliant in the World Cup as well. I think that when we see him in the Premier League, that's, for me, that's when you know a player's good. If they can boss a Premier League game, if they can control the tempo of a game, if they get stuck in, don't shy away from tackles and stuff like that, especially when you're playing in CM or DM. Like, you have to be able to dictate the play, be physical, do your defensive duties, drag your team forward, and still be able to pass properly as well and keep the ball ticking. He can do all of them. Yeah, and his awareness is getting better and better every game as well. And listen, he is only 21 years old, just turned 21 years old, Ecuadorian international, of course, but he's played 26. Is that 26? I'm lying. No, it is 26. 26 league games this season for Brighton, 41 games in total, of which 34 of them, since he's been there, have been in the Premier League. Only bagged a couple of goals, couple of assists, but I expect that. Listen, he's playing in a DM role most of the time. But I like this guy, man. And apparently he is our number one target in the summer. And apparently the fee, allegedly, is around 70 million, which is kind of funny considering that we put in 70 million bids in January. But like I said, they didn't want to get rid of him in January. I think we now know that. We didn't go to what they wanted. If we wanted him in January, we would have paid a premium. We'd have paid an extra 30 million on top. Did the club weigh it up and say, is the extra 30 million worth it? Probably they did, and then thought, actually, it's not. So we ended up going and getting Jorginho, saving a load of dough. Hopefully we still win the league, and then we bin Jorginho off, get a couple of quid back for him, and then we go and get Kaisado for the 70 million that we originally... And listen, between us, we don't know. Maybe we've done a deal. Maybe part of the deal, because this is natural as well. When a player doesn't get his move, instantly they get a new contract. We see it with Granit Xhaka, linked to Roma, didn't get his move to Roma, new contract. And normally how it works, from what I gather, if you don't get your move, you'll be like, we'll give you a new contract on new terms, keep you sweet, we'll give you a couple of quid extra every week, whatever it may be, 10, 20, 15 grand extra, whatever. But at some point, you will get your move. Yeah, so you stay with us, keep your head down, keep your nut down. You make sure you do your job as you're doing it. We'll give you a pay rise. But when the time comes, we'll let you have your move. But right now, you ain't having your move. And that's happened so many times in football. And it wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal do go and get him for about 70 million quid in the summer. This is my number one choice as well. I like Declan Rice. I think he's a top player. But for me, this guy's clear. This guy can do everything Declan Rice can do and better, in my opinion. I think he's an absolute Rolls Royce in midfield. And not only that, we are in Champions League as well. We've mathematically qualified for Champions League. Nobody can get us out of that spot. Even if we lost every game, we're still finishing Champions League. So we are going to need some top draw players, especially in midfield. Like I said, Mohamed El Neni is 30 years old, 31 years old. Jorginho's 31. Partey and Xhaka are in their 30s. So we're going to have to go and get some younger models in midfield. And why not go and sign this guy? And listen, if we have kept good relations, like it was originally reported, good relations with Brighton, then maybe we have already agreed to do this in the summer and said, look, we'll come back in the summer. They've gone, cool, we'll give them a new deal. We'll give them an extra 20 grand a week for the next 6 months. Yeah, and in the summer, we'll do a deal. Yeah, but you ain't having him now. We need him. We're pushing for Europe as well, which they are. They won again last night, I think. Where are they in the league? I do think they won last night. So they're pretty flying this season. Yeah, they're 6th. Yeah, they won again last night. Aston Villa is 7th. Wow, go on, Villa. Wow, Villa could even possibly qualify for Europa League. You never know, man. Although Brighton have got 2 games in hand over him. And so is every other team below him. But that's mad. Villa are flying, man. 4 wins out of their last 5. That's crazy. Big up Unai Emery. But anyway, De Zerbi's flying as well. They're doing unbelievable. They're in the European spots. So maybe that's what's happened. Maybe Kaisado is going to stay there. Well, he is going to stay there, but maybe that was the deal. You let us keep him. Otherwise, give us 100 mil. We're not going to give you 100 mil. You keep him. New deal. We'll buy him in the summer. And I wouldn't be surprised if we buy him. Listen, I love Thomas Partey. He is an absolute boss. And for me, he's our most important player. But there is no way in a million years Thomas Partey can play every single game. We know that's not going to happen. So we do need reinforcements there. And I want somebody that's going to challenge to play every week. Somebody that can nick Thomas Partey's spot. Somebody that can play in the cup competitions as well. Because I'll tell you something now. As good as we've been this season, and we have been amazing, the cup competitions have been a shambles. Every single one of them has been an absolute letdown and a shambles. Now, how dare we just go, League Cup, don't worry about it, mate. Bigger fish to fry. FA Cup, don't want that, mate. Why would we want that if we want it more than anyone? Bigger fish to fry. Europa, nah, Sporting, you have it, mate. Bigger fish to fry. So next season, I expect us to be taking these competitions seriously. I really do. And I'm telling you, that is something we need to improve on, because the amount of times we've been kicked out of these cup competitions really early, and all you hear is, oh, but we got a thin squad. Well, how about this summer? Go and get a thick squad. Go and buy a squad. Go and buy another load of players. For me, I think we need quite a lot. I think we need a right back. I think we need another goalkeeper. That goalkeeper ain't good enough, especially if Ramsdale gets injured and we're in Champions League. So a goalkeeper, right back, 2 midfielders, maybe 3, a right winger and a striker. So I think we need a lot, and it's going to cost quite a bit of money. But listen, you never know. Leicester might get relegated. We might be able to pick up Maddison for a cheap fee. Go and get Harvey Barnes as well, if we let Nelson go. So I'll take Harvey Barnes. We can move Martinelli around as well. Harvey Barnes can play right as well, really. So yeah, I'd go and get him. Just go and strip all the clubs that are being relegated for their best players, or just go and strip the teams in the Premier League for their best players. This is what Fergie used to do. So, and this is what we should be doing. Going and getting proven Premier League players like Kaisado, like Ivan Toney, top tier players that are doing it at smaller clubs that we should, as big boy Arsenal, be able to go and bully and be able to go and say, yo, he's ours. He's coming to us, mate. There, yeah, take your money and shut up. That's our player. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to see that with Kaisado in the summer, because if he comes into our squad, instantly our squad is better. Even if we don't sign another player, with Kaisado in that squad, we're instantly better. So for me, it's a no-brainer. Go and get it done. I don't care if it costs 80 million. It ain't my money. I don't care if it costs 280 million. It is not my money. Go and get the best players we can get. And for me, he's one of them. The club is apparently number 1 choice is him. Same for me as well. But I'd love to know your thoughts, feelings, and opinions and all of that. Make sure you are smashing the like button into the stratosphere to meet up with the ball that Harry Kane spanked over the bar against France. It's still orbiting. So make sure you're smashing the likes up like that. Make sure you are subscribed to the second channel. Lee Reacts. It is flying nearly on 9.5K. Thank you very much to everyone who has checked that channel out. It's not just football or sport. Tomorrow I might be speaking about Donald Trump, believe it or not. If you don't know about Trump, go and Google it. It's all kicking off. But yeah, I'll probably be doing a video about Donald Trump tomorrow. The one about Messi is out now. That dropped before I recorded this. So do go and check that out. Show some love. I'll be back again later this evening with another upload. We're going to be talking about a striker that's linked to Arsenal. And then after the football's finished tonight, El Clasico. F the other games. El Clasico, Copa del Rey, second leg tonight. Real Madrid lose. Ancelotti may even get sacked tonight. Who knows? They are 1-0 down after the first leg. So very, very important that Ancelotti gets a win. But we shall see. Obviously, there is Premier League fixtures on tonight as well. I think Manchester United are playing Brentford, West Ham, Newcastle. So there's a couple of decent games. But for me, El Clasico all the way tonight. But anyway, I will then be back after that with an upload. And then tomorrow, I'm back on here in the afternoon at 1 p.m. UK time with Saeed TV. So make sure you come and check that out as well. Loads and loads and loads of content to go. And later down the road as well, there'll be a press conference reaction, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, adios amigos. Ciao.